Indeed, the sun is low in the sky, the day is nearly done, but there is one more race to go, and this time it's a one-off weekend race. This is the Rotax 177 British O-Plate Championship that's about to take to the track, and here they come onto the grid, and this is going to be an interesting one. I'm actually really looking forward to this because, well, big surprise for me in Rotax 177 is Philip Howarth, the number 11, the real number 1, is starting on pole position. Don't ask me how he did that, but he did that. So we're going to have a quick chat with him as he makes his way down to us right here, starting on pole position. Who'd have thunk it? I didn't think it, but he did it, and really looking forward to seeing what he can do. We'll let him get his wagon off the trolley first, and then we'll have a quick chat with him. But certainly, for me and Philip, it's been a while since we've had a chat. What was it? You did a track walk with me at Mansell Raceway, didn't you?
Didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Well, the real number 1, ladies and gentlemen, is back on number 1 spot, starting on pole position for this one. Mate, honestly, it's been a brilliant weekend for you. Do you reckon you could be British Open champion at the end of this?
If you'd asked me yesterday, definitely not. We were not good at all. But we chipped away, and we'll see. I've changed the kart again for the final because we weren't quite quick enough. We are here a little bit on merit, but we're here, and I'm going to go for it.
Yeah, exactly. So. Mate, honestly, it's been a pretty barnstormer. You're about to have a wasp go in your helmet there, so there you go. That's going to give you a sting.
I had a wasp go down my neck at Wilton.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did, yeah. I'd pull over and roll around on the floor. I did, yeah.
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen this weekend. We'll wish you the best of luck. We'll let you clear that away and, yeah, enjoy your racing. Philip Howarth there, starting this one on pole position. Another driver who we didn't catch up with on the paddock show. We caught up with his kart because you weren't there. Scott Smith. Right, Scott, starting on the front row of the grid as well. What are you expecting from this one? Are you thinking you can come away with an O-Plate here?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Don't think we've got the pace, but it's a long race. We'll see what happens. Might be a bit of carnage or something.
Exactly. But you're on the outside row going into turn 1. We say it a lot with a lot of drivers. It's a bit tricky, but we have seen it work in the past. I mean, for here, you say you struggle with the pace. If you can get a good run, though, into turn 1, do you reckon you could do something at the start and hold on to it?
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
I'll tell you in 15 minutes or something.
There you go. That'll be good. 15 minutes plus 1 lap.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. Tell me then. Starting just behind on the second row of the grid, Mr. Chafer. Now, Nathan, you had a scary incident at turn 1 in heat 1, didn't you? What happened there?
Basically, I just got shoved out wide on the marbles, and then that was it. I just got turned around.
Yeah. Very fast part of the track as well. I can imagine a new race suit was needed after that.
Oh yeah, I just don't want that to happen again in the final.
No, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. This is obviously a one-off. It doesn't matter where you finish on this one. The place you want to finish is number 1. Do you reckon you've got the waft in the wagon?
Don't know. We'll find out.
We'll find out. Hopefully. Let's hope so, mate. Best of luck on that one as well. Let's chat over to Mr. Conwell as well, or Cornwell, I should say. Second row of the grid, inside row, crucially, and a relatively good weekend. You've had some decent results as well, so how are you feeling?
Yeah, fairly confident. We've had the pace most of the weekend. No expectations, we're just going to see what we can do.
Yeah, that's what we need, isn't it? It's a one-off, so I can imagine elbows out.
Nice fun one-off event, so it should be good fun.
It should be good fun, there we go. And Rotax 177 always gives us a good race, doesn't it? Now, I want to chat a little further down because the quickest driver that we had out this weekend was Reese Hunter, who's starting on the middle of this pack. And he's got a couple of seeded drivers alongside him. Reese, want to have a quick chat with you. A lot of people have been saying you've been bulking up ready for this one because you were racing in 162 recently. Now you're in 177. What happened in the first heat? Technical infringement, what was that?
Yeah, it wasn't too good, to be fair. It just put us on the back foot all day with that. So yeah, hopefully going forward, I'll manage to win the second heat, so hopefully we've got a good final and we go forward from there.
You're a legend in terms of Rotax racing, both in the UK and out in Europe as well. Do you reckon you become British Open champion here in 2023?
We can only try, can't we? So we'll see how we get on.
You've had the pace all weekend. It'll just be, can you get through all of those drivers with that pace you've got?
We've got 15 minutes, so there's plenty of action in 15 minutes, I think. So we'll see
Mate, best of luck. We'll let you get ready and look forward to that one. Want to pop over here. Large by name, large by nature. You're quite a tall chap, aren't you? Louis Large starting this one alongside Reese. The number 2 seed from the last time the British Kart Champs run 177. Good to see you back. And like you say, today has been a challenge, would you say?
Yeah, definitely. We had a valve come out in Heat 1 when we were running third, so it's put us back here. But I suppose we're back here with Reese, we're back with Lingard. You know, there's plenty of fast people in front of us, but all we've got to do is push forward and see how far we can take it.
Do you think at this sort of stage, if you've got Reese alongside, you know, you could work together to maybe push yourselves through the field? Because it's very easy for one driver to break away, but if 2 drivers can work very well together, you can make anything happen. You can close the gap really quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think there's necessarily a plan. It's just if you need to push, you need to push. If you need to go in, you need to go in. Just take it lap by lap and see what happens at the end.
Yeah, that's what you need. That's the problem with these one-off race weekends. One bad race and it means you start all the way down here. But hopefully all 4 wheels stay fully firm for you this race.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed for Louis Large there. Alan Porter as well, just getting himself seated. Also the number 5 seed. This is going to be an exciting one. We're clearing the grid. Rotax 177. It is the British O-Plate. It is coming up next. Back to you, Andrew, in the commentary box.
Thank you very much, Anthony. Great work down on the grid as ever. It's time for the last race of the day, the last race of the weekend here at PF International. It is the final for the 2023 Rotax 177 British O-Plates. Here is your grid, determined by 2 qualifying heats earlier on today. Philip Howarth has pole position, is joined on the front row of the grid by the number 37 of Scott Smith. Sam Cornwell and Nathan Chaffer go from row number 2. Chris Thomas will fancy his chances on row 3 and is joined by Lewis Halliday. Harrison Crook and Callum Porter will start on row 4. Very intriguing row 5. Reese Hunter, fastest driver of the weekend, is there mainly because of a technical disqualification from the first heat and is joined by the number 2 seed Louis Large. Expect them to come through the field. James Lingard and Charlie Pritchard will go from row number 6. Luke Oliver and Jimmy Galloway go on row 7. Tom Hinton and Alan Kenyon start on row 8. Henry Ayres and Oliver Smith from row 9. Danny Andrew completes the 19 runners in this, the 2023 British O-Plate 4 Rotax 177, and that is a driver out already. It looks to be the number 27 of Danny Andrew.
Big shame there. Kart not working before the race has even started. Marshall's there doing a brilliant job slowing the drivers down, getting themselves ready for this one. A reminder then of past history as now, was that Reese Hunter going through? It was. Is he pulled into the pit lane? Has Reese Hunter got a problem?
He is, yeah, noted as in the pits here.
Yes.
So Reese Hunter is out.
Oh, that is a disaster. Yeah, he's pulled in, he's out the kart. That is an absolute disaster. He was one of the favourites going into this one, and that scuppered the plan there that Louis Large had of working together and trying to close in. That is an absolute disaster. 2 drivers out before the race even starts, but the race continues. And we get going. Green flag goes out, and Rotax 177 British Open Championship is underway. There's a kart that's left the pit lane, and there's a kart that's left the track. And that's your man who started on the front row, Scott Smith, who now dives back in. I think he's dropped all the way down to P3, 4 now, as he's under pressure from Nathan Chafer. Chafer with a good start, now up into the top 3 spots. He's now battling his way through. Down the hill they go. Kart's running a little bit wide, but crucially, Philip Howarth, the real number 1, leading the way and looking comfortable.
Looking comfortable indeed. Sam Cornwell's had a good start. Danny Andrews, the kart that's re-entered the circuit. Looks like Reese Hunter's going to try and get back in the race as well, but he's a long, long way behind. And any hope, I said it's a 15-minute race, it's a long race, but it's not going to be long enough for Hunter to get back onto this pack.
He will need an absolute miracle for anything like that to happen, but
yeah. Oh, the number 36 there, James Lingard, hopping over the curb, going for a move on the inside. But Howarth's going to lead at the end of lap 1. This is a position he's very familiar with, of course, across the course of his career. And I've liked the look of Sam Cornwell today. He's raced well. He's been very precise with his overtakes, and he'll fancy his chances here.
He certainly will. Oliver Smith seeing a 5-second time penalty. His O-plate chances are over. Back over the start-finish, or back over the bridge they go. You can see the crowds and celebration there in the background, geeing everyone on. I've got to say, there's quite a good showing of supporters for the British Open Championship in Rotax 177. Not since 2021 did we get a champion for this one. Jay Taylor took it in 2021. Matteo Zanetti in 2019. James Moorcroft in 2018. Chris Thomas, who's out in this one now, last won it in 2017. Danny Russell won the first ever Rotax 177 British Open Championship in 2016. Who will take it in 2023? 13 minutes plus 1 lap will tell you, but right now it's going in the way of Philip Howarth.
It's a top 3 breaking away. There's a bit of a Chris Thomas train.
Oh, he's back
out.
in.
Out is Rhys Hunter, having a chat with his brother Kai there. Well, on one side of the Hunter family, it's been a great day, but a shame for Rhys. He's not been able to even really be a factor in this final. That's a real shame, I think, for everyone. We were all looking forward to a Rhys Hunter masterclass through the field, but it wasn't to be.
No, it wasn't to be at all. Down the inside there, looking for a move, not coming to fruition. And yeah, that is an unfortunate one. James Lingard trying his level best to get a move done. Not managing to get it done, though. But like you were saying, yeah, clean breakaway there for the top 3. Looking very good. Lewis Halliday there, kind of then the next in the main pack. And he's leading 4th place, effectively to last place at the moment, isn't he? He's got the entire pack right behind him, which you can imagine puts a bit of pressure on a driver's shoulders.
It does, but I think he's taken the initiative here. He's taken that 4th place away from Chris Thomas, who slipped back. I think I'm trying to work him out there. Yeah, the number 19 is down to about 7th place now, defending from Luke Oliver. Luke Oliver's had a good start. That's up 5 places from where he was. Wild, wow!
Big.
From Nathan Schaefer there, drifting up the hill. That was beautifully done, pushing on. I still think Schaefer's got a good chance in this. Was strong yesterday in the heats. Difficult start to the day, running wide in the very cold conditions at the start of this morning. Is down the inside there, going for a move. That looked to be the number 26 and 36. No, sorry, it was the 26 of Charlie Pritchard, going through up into 9th place.
Yeah, it was. So changes happening all the way through the field, through the Fullerton S as they go. Yeah, big moment there. As they're very wide there. The Ultimate R-Kart getting back onto the track. Not the optimal racing line you want to see there. But for Chris Thomas, he is pushing as hard as he can because he's already there in 7th place now. He has dropped down a couple of positions, but he is the only other driver who's on this grid to have won a championship in this British Open plate. There's a driver who's gone off the track. I think that was the 33 of Tom Hinton.
It was indeed. He's going to get back onto circuit and hopefully back into the race. But can see how hard the karts are working when they go offline, when they get in that moisture in the grass.
Oh, yeah.
Loads of steam being kicked up. Thomas under attack here from Luke Oliver. That's a nice move down the inside. Thomas just doesn't seem to have the straight line speed this weekend. He'll fight for every position, though. Chris Thomas only knows one way, and that's being an all out and out racer. 10 minutes to go in this one. Howarth looking comfortable. Caldwell at 0.4 of a second. Can Cornwell and Schaefer do anything about this pace for the real number 1? Because at the moment it's looking like a pretty sweet, gentle Sunday drive for Phil out there.
I don't think there's anything gentle about this drive he's having to deal with. I can imagine he's working very hard and hopefully does not have that hitchhiker in his helmet with him over the course of that one. Like you were saying, he had that incident at Wilton Mill where he had to get out rolling around because of a wasp sting in his suit. But yeah, I think he cleared that one before it got in his helmet. But yeah, looking very good though out the front, but like you say, a lot of work still left to happen. Here comes James Lingard though on Lewis Halliday, and that move happens though into the hairpin. So James Lingard now up into P4, having to defend just a little bit there from Lewis Halliday, but Halliday will concede the spot. And now, can they close in on those top 3?
And this is just the kind of race where James Lingard can come to the fore. He's not had the perfect day, but he's had speed and good race speed as well. That is now starting to pay dividends. This will be an important lap next time around to prove that he's got the pace, that he's worthy of that 4th place, and he's the one to charge this huge pack of karts down to get these top 3, because the gap at the moment is around 1.1 seconds.
Certainly is. It's closed in here now, hasn't it, as well? Now, Philip Howarth had a bit of a buffer between himself and Samuel Cornwell. And Cornwell has closed in once more. Henry Ayres with the fastest lap of the race now, 58.2. Very good time. Don't think anyone has dipped into the 57 seconds yet this weekend. Maybe earlier on, I'm not too sure. But 8.5 minutes to go in this race, and still it's it's really starting to close in now, actually. And yes, you're right. There's been a change. Nathan Chafer up into P2. Good spot. And the driver on the CRG, who had a tricky experience at turn 1 in Heat 1, certainly seems to have rectified himself and is battling now for P1.
And he'll back himself, because on the basis of what we saw in the timed qualifying yesterday on sheer pace, the only driver faster than him isn't in this race, of course. Reese Hunter, a retirement on lap 0. 8 minutes to go. Philip Howarth leads this race, and is looking calm at the wheel as well. That's a lovely move down the inside by James Lingard, who's now up to 3rd place. Lingard is definitely in the mix here. Can he close up to Chafer? I think for Chafer, it's almost like he's got to catch Howarth and get past as soon as possible, because the pace of James Lingard is a worry to everyone out there. This is a superb run. Chris Thomas defending again there from the number 26 of Charlie Pritchard. That's to try and hold 9th place. We're into the second half of the race now. Howarth still leads.
Yes, he is. But for how much longer? Because the drivers behind, I think, are thirsty for an O-plate here. Remember, it's a one-off. No championship points, none of that. It is whoever wins here is British Open champion. And that is what we love about these one-off weekends. It brings out the best in drivers as Lingard dives to the inside of Nathan Chafer and gets up into 2nd place. Now is on the charge here, but the gap's opened up to about 0.2 of a second now. Lingard is on the charge.
Big lap for both Howarth and Lingard here. Howarth will be hoping to take advantage of that change around and break away, but I don't think that's happening. Lingard has got incredible pace here and has come from relative nowhere in this race. Where did he start? He started 11th on the grid, a proper outsider, where we were talking about the likes of Hunter and Large coming through. Here is Lingard doing exactly that. Just over 6 minutes to go. Keep your comments coming in. Hello to Razor C. Worthen. Good to hear from you, mate. He's done very well this season in his car racing. He's cheering on the leader, but the leader for how much longer? Because end of lap number 9, the gap is 1.5 down the inside. There is the number 97 of Luke Oliver gaining a spot.
Ooh.
And nearly through there was Lingard. He's all over the back of Howarth here.
That's the first nibble there from James Lingard. He's sniffing a race victory here, but Philip Howarth is going to deny any opportunity. Now he starts to go defensive. Keep an eye on Nathan Chafer. He takes the normal lap, but Lingard finds the gap out of nowhere, and through goes Chafer. 2 in 1, and Philip Howarth is off the track, and now he tumbles down to about 4th place now. He is in trouble. Lewis Halliday comes through up into 3rd place as Philip Howarth now goes wheel to wheel once again with James Lingard, and both of them tumble down the order. That's been an absolute disaster for the both of them. Lingard going defensive now from Luke Oliver, and Louis Large comes through around the outside. Louis Large now gaining positions. The entire pack is in one group, but crucially, Nathan Chafer in the number 10, the CRG, leads the way.
This is what you love about an Open Championship. Only an O-plate would deliver a race like this. Nathan Chafer, who started the day on the grass facing the wrong way in heat number 1, is now hot on form. The tyres are up to temperature, the engine's up to temperature, and he's 5 minutes away from becoming the 2023 winner of the British O-Plate in Rotax 177. But Sam Cornwell's still there in 2nd place now, closing in. Took a little bit of time out through sector number 1. 1/4 of a second is the gap.
Yeah, it is indeed. 4.5 minutes to go left on the timer. That is still a long way to go in this race. There is still plenty of time for all the drivers to close back up once more. But who is it going to be? Because right now, Nathan Chafer and Samuel Cornwell, they're doing what they need to do, but Cornwell, we saw earlier on, was fading just that little bit. Are we going to see the same here? Now that Chafer's got the clean air in front, he might be able to break away. But for Lewis Halliday as well there in 3rd, again, he is the driver who was there but wasn't attacking. It's only come round because of that coming together and the battle that happened. But There is still 4 minutes to go. I reckon this race is far from over.
And I think Houth and
there's the
Lingard.
move.
Houth and Lingard.
Oh, no!
Contact between Houth and Lingard again. They're going to have a discussion with one another there. And what I was about to say, with the pace they had, they still had a chance of winning this race. I think it's just gone, Anthony, because they both tumble down the order. Through goes Large, Oliver, Smith, Porter. And they are surely going to have too much work to do now to take the win in the remaining 3.5 minutes.
Well, there we go for Philip Howarth. That was the start he wanted. The end he did not want. He falls and tumbles down the order now after the coming together between himself and the others. I mean, for him and James Lingard, this has been a tough battle. For Lingard, he tumbles all the way back down to pretty much where he started now in this race, down into P10, a retirement coming into the pit lane. That looks like Alan Kenyon potentially coming in. We've had several retirements actually from this one, but yeah, Alan Kenyon bringing it into pit lane. So Nathan Chafer then with a gap of a 10th. The battle's still on. 3 minutes to go, and here we go. Samuel Cornwell to the lead, outbreaks himself, goes too deep into the corner, and look at that. Nathan Chafer gains superb amount of time out of hairpin one.
And the trouble for Cornwell, he may have just shown his cards in this poker match of a no-plate final. Nathan Chafer is going to be aware of that now for the remaining 2.5 minutes. Lewis Halliday's coming into this. I would count out Louis Large as well. The number 2 plate holder there is less than 2 seconds off the lead right now. They're going to come round to complete lap number 13. Nathan Chafer still has the lead. Penalty, plus 5 seconds to kart number 36. That is James Lingard, so that is really all she wrote now for James Lingard's effort. The number 91, Oliver Smith, has also received a 5-second penalty for a separate incident. There is Phil Howarth. Phil Howarth is not going to give this one up. Whilst he's still pointing in the right direction, he's going to believe he can win this race because he's still got a good amount of pace. 58.47, a new personal best. 3.5 seconds is the gap with the most part of 2 minutes. It's the slimmest of long shots, but it's still possible. He's going to need the racing gods to come into his favour.
If there's fuel in his tank and air in his tyres, you can guarantee Philip Howarth will drive the wheels off that kart to get away with a race victory. And right now he's on his charge back, but it's a lot of work ahead of him. P7, and there's 90 seconds left plus 1 lap. And at the moment, it's all down to these 3 here. Nathan Chafer, who leads the way once again, is being closed in by Samuel Cornwell. He already showed his cards through hairpin number 1. He might go for a move here because he's got some serious waft as they go into the Tyrone banking. Looks to the inside, cannot fulfill the overtake. He stays behind as they go over the bridge. Remember, he went to the inside here at hairpin 1. It didn't work out for him. Is Chafer going to go defensive? Yes, he is, to the outside. Is he going to get the switchback move here through hairpin 1? He is, wheel to wheel. The 2 go for the British Open Championship as they go into hairpin 2. Nathan Chafer holds the inside line. Here comes Halliday to the outside. They tyre smoke off the wheels as they defend furiously. Chafer holds on to the lead. Halliday goes through into second place. And crucially, Samuel Cornwell looks down at his tyres and thinks, my goodness, do I have a puncture after that?
And Louis Large is right there now. They've got 2 more laps to go. There'll be about 15 seconds on the clock as they come over the line. It's Chafer, Halliday, Cornwell, Large, Oliver. Callum Porter's still as part of this. Now, we've not talked about him for the whole race, but he's there in P6. Oh! And a bit of a push there from Halliday on Chafer. There's a bit of contact nearly again. Cornwell's down the inside. Rettles back into P2. Large is on the outside going for P3. Goes out wide. And look at this. Down the inside comes Porter and Oliver as well. Is this the chance now for Nathan Chafer, who's breaking away at the front of the field? They're nearly 3 wide off of hairpin 1. This race is absolutely bonkers, Anthony.
Absolutely insane, but it's all for nothing because now they're battling for 3rd place. You need to win this one to win, and right now Nathan Chafer is doing just that. The gap is 0.4 of a second between himself and Cornwell, who amazingly gets himself back up into 2nd place despite the tyre smoke that was pouring off his kart after being defended furiously from Chafer going into the Fullerton S's a couple of laps ago. Out of the final corner, last lap board comes out this time around, and it could go the way of Chafer or Cornwell. Remember, Cornwell closed the gap up like this earlier on. He might be able to do it again, but right now this is all going in the way of Nathan Chafer. Back to the inside goes Halliday on Luke Oliver. Gets that one done. Oliver down into 5th place now.
On the final lap, you say that Cornwell's a bit too far back there to have another go in to the first hairpin. Everyone's scrapping for every position that they can here in the O-Plate final. Through another hairpin there for Nathan Chafer. He's counting the corners away now. Samuel Cornwell is closing in, but he may be just running out of time. This is why you've got to love Rotax 177. They've come here this weekend to PFI and delivered. Just a couple more corners for Nathan Chafer. Started on 4th on the grid on row 2. Is going to come round the final corner and become the 2023 British O-Plate winner in Rotax 177 in an absolutely fantastic final here at PFI. He takes it by half a second ahead of Samuel Cornwell. Louis Large threw everything at that and comes home in 3rd place. My goodness me, what a way to finish here, Anthony Jordan.
It certainly was. For Nathan Chafer, that is the result he wanted. Of course, every result that we see here is, of course, provisional. Nothing is clarified until we get the official race results after this one. Samuel Cornwell finishes in P2 and Louis Large rounds out the podium in 3rd place. For Philip Howard, who started on pole position, it did not go his way. It started well, but unfortunately, racing happens and he fell down the order. For the rest of the field as well, an absolutely superb race. Scott Smith finishing in 7th place from Henry Ayres. Chris Thomas in his fight back to retake the O-Plate since he won it back in 2017. Didn't come to fruition. He finishes that one in P9. Oliver rounding out the top 10 from Charlie Pritchard. James Lingard, Jimmy Galloway, Oliver Smith and Harrison Crook rounding out the top 15. The 4 retirements, Alan Kenyon and Danny Andrew during the race. Tom Hinton, who unfortunately crashed out of the race, and Reese Hunter, unfortunately, not even starting the race. He retired with a mechanical issue at the start. Big shame for him, because he was one of the favourites going into this.
He really was. That was probably the one thing that final missed out on was a Reese Hunter charge through the field. But we can't have everything, can we?
We can't.
Anyway, I'm glad that's the last race, because I'm absolutely exhausted after that one. I don't know about you, Anthony.
Oh, I'm absolutely fine, because I've got a full night's sleep compared to you. Partying away. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, no, that's honestly been a fantastic day. The day's not over. We got the post-race interviews to happen. Of course, the podium's happening. So if you are here at the circuit, do feel free to stay behind. Join us at the podiums. It will be absolutely fantastic to crown our champions and, of course, down there as well. I think we are ready down in the area. We're not just yet. We will cut down there in just a few moments' time. We will chat to a couple of our protagonists out there in Rotax 177. But for them, the championship, what's a year it's been? What a season. There's been ups, there's been downs. It is the end of it. The awards night is next. I think that's coming up November. 25th of November, something along those times. That's going to be a good one.
Very quick before we head down, I just want to give a rundown and a big thanks to our Alpha Live crew here today. Luke Woodford, Joe, Joseph, Andrew, Chris Simpson. Good to see Chris for the first time in a while. Rob, Jonathan, Stu, and James. And, of course, Kieran down in the Park Ferme area, who I believe we can head down to now. Thank you, everybody. And Kieran, over to you.
Well, that was certainly an interesting race there with a last-minute penalty for Nathan Chafer, meaning, of course, that Sam Cornwell is the champion of this year. But firstly, we've got Lewis, I can't remember it.
I'm Sam Cornwell.
Oh, Sam Cornwell. Oh, congratulations. Sorry. Sorry, just step back here a second for me. That was an interesting race. You obviously had a great battle there with Nathan. Obviously, the last-minute penalty for him means you are the champion for the O-Plate. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I mean, we didn't expect this coming in. We just sort of did it as a fun weekend of trying to be a bit more competitive racing. So this is outstanding, really. Yeah, amazing.
Congratulations. And obviously, have you got anybody that you'd like to thank for this weekend?
Well, firstly, my dad. He does absolutely everything for me. He's on the spanners. He funds it all for me. Can't thank him enough. He sacrifices a lot for this. But then Lee Murray at MLC for the team kart setup help, and also the engines. It's P1 Power, and then yeah, everyone else in MLC as well. They've been amazingly supportive all weekend. Give me a bit of tips to get me a bit more up to speed.
Excellent. Well, congratulations again. And I believe Dan Parker here has your O-Plate plaque.
Thank you very much.
Really great.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Right. I believe now we have Lewis. Hello. Is it Lewis or Louis? Louis, sorry. Let's go step back. So, Louis, that was an interesting race. Obviously, you made a few overtakes there. How was it?
It was good, yeah. We found ourselves starting 10th. We had a flat tyre in the first heat, which set us back a bit. But we tried something on the first lap. It backfired massively. We ended up going backwards, but I don't know where we went. I think it was about 15th. But we've come back through, just lap after lap, closing the gap, making the moves, and we've ended up P2 on the road. Well, P3 on the road, P2 after penalties, but you know, I think we can be happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And is anybody you'd like to thank for this weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got Nigel at HRS Engines who's worked really well at getting the power we needed. My dad on the spanners. He's been on the mechanics for me since day one. We don't run with a big team. It's just us. It's our own setup. Friends, family, everyone back home who puts up with me off track. Need a big shout out. Rev UK. They provide a lot of our equipment. Yeah, other than that, it's been a really good weekend.
Excellent. Well, congratulations, and congratulations for the weekend.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, finally, we have Lewis Halliday, final on the podium. Congratulations. That was an unexpected podium there for you.
Yeah, well, coming into the weekend, we knew we had the pace. Quickest most of the weekend. Unlucky DNF, should have had pole. But yeah, no, it was a great race. Just like to thank Adrian Coles, turning on the spanners, all of the crooks, and yeah, had the ticket for half a lap.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, there was a lot of. Did you see what happened between Nathan and Sam?
Yeah, so I was in third, sitting behind, watching it with 2 laps to go, and I saw the MLC guy went for the undercut, and I knew he was going to get squeezed, so I set myself up and got into second, and then going on to the last lap, I didn't know Nathan had a penalty for it, so I could have just sat there, but instead I went for the lead, one-off event, but no, he deserved it, and cheers, thank you.
Excellent. Well, congratulations for this weekend, and congratulations on the season as well.
Thank you.
We turn our attention to Rotax 177, the 2023 British O-Plate, a one-off weekend, but still probably one of the most dramatic races we've seen in a while. And the results that you may have seen earlier on are now completely different. So we go with our top 3. In 3rd position, finishing 1.9 seconds behind the race leader for Dan Holland Racing, the number 5, Callum Porter. Well done, Callum. In 2nd position, finishing just 0.7 of a second behind our race leader at the end. In the number 56, please welcome onto the podium, Lewis Halliday. Good to see these drivers back racing in a British Championship paddock. And then finally, your race winner after 17 laps of racing, the number 2 seed from the last time they raced in the British Championship. Welcome to Louis Large! And his winning mechanic, Darren Large, as well, onto the podium. Well done, Louis. Collect your hat there.
Bubble and squeak.
We'd like to invite Oliver Behrman onto the podium to present the number 3 trophy to Callum Porter. A brilliant result for Callum at the end of that one. We now ask Callum Arlott to join us onto the podium to present the 2nd place trophy to Lewis Halliday. And to round it out again, Ollie Behrman onto the podium to present the winner's trophy to the number 2 seed, Louis Large. Winning mechanics trophy as well, please, or medal, will be awarded by Dan Parker to Darren Large. Brilliant result. Darren, you get a medal. Look at that. Hold that with pride. A brilliant result then for Rotax 177. And of course, finally, to award the O plate at the end, we invite John Ryan onto the podium to present the O plate to Louis Large at the end of a fantastic end to the weekend. He becomes, I think, the 6th Rotax 177 O plate winner. A brilliant way to end the day. Again, stick around because tickets to give out. A big, huge round of applause, please, then, for your Rotax 177 British O-Plate finalists. Right, it's ticket time. Ladies and gents, if you want photos, you'll have to wait just that little bit longer. To present the tickets, we've got Tina and Gary from Jag Rotax. And Daryl. So Daryl and Gary from Rotax. Perfect. That's who's going to... Yes.